Dakota land.
Whose land is it?
Dakota land.
Thank you.
We finna get underway here. We out here at Minneapolis City Hall. Response to the sweeps of 10 encampments of homeless people on this Homeless Day plus Indigenous Peoples Day. It was predominantly Native American. And they finna start speaking. And I'll just be out here for a little bit, but thought y'all would like this video.
Hey, we got no lunch here.
Ooh, it is windy. Well, it's kind of a nice day.
Check.
Yep, it worked.
Check.
And in case there's any music playing in the background, I do not have rights for that. I know I hear Michael Jackson music in the background. I look like he about to speak. Show is. Man in the mirror. The song's as old as me, and I love it. And rhythm, it was just so real. Michael Jackson.
No, I don't like to be in They talking about doing interviews and all this extra.
Well, I just say because they're here. Otherwise, I'd be up there. If it was just the independent media, I'm there. I'm technically an independent media as well. Yep. Do what you do, Rissa.
Indigenous house. They sell indigenous house like national books, the Disney music, the public comment
A northbound line train to downtown Minneapolis is arriving on track number 1.
Hello everyone, my name is Rissa. My spirit name is Austin Kumagoke, which means shining merciful name. I'm a Gizzy son and I'm from the Writers Nation of Louisville. First, I'd like to apologize. I have my speech on my phone because I'm not a good public speaker.
That's what I do if I ever do that. It's on here.
All my cousins, uncles, and daddy aunties. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day to my spicy cousins on the south side of the white man's border. I see you and I stand with you. As always, we're going to recognize that we are standing on stolen land that was wrongfully and harmfully taken from Dakota people. Minnesota
Big
is
facts.
the homeland of Dakota people, and just miles from here, where the Minnesota and Mississippi River meet, is the place of their genesis and unfortunately their genocide. I'd like to remind everyone that nobody, and I repeat, nobody, was homeless before 1492.
Big facts.
Before Christopher Columbus stumbled upon this sacred indigenous land. But ever since he arrived here, homelessness has been an ongoing problem for 530 years. I'm going to say that one more time. 530 years. That means that generation after generation after generation has experienced the same violent acts that our brothers and sisters here in Minneapolis have within the past week, and that is a major problem. It's a problem because what the city is doing, what these cops are doing, what Jacob Fry is doing, is violating multiple human rights that these people have.
Fry.
To name a few, those are the right to food and shelter, the right to own property, the right to have privacy, to be free from discrimination, and no unfair detainment. These basic human rights are being disregarded when these encampments are bulldozed and people's belongings are being trashed. Lives are put into harm's way as somebody could still be sleeping in a tent. Lives are put into danger when having to deal with cops.
As was the situation on Friday.
Especially here in Minneapolis. Everything about these
I've personally seen one.
It's traumatizing. It don't help that the majority of people who are living in these encampments are most likely in this predicament from past trauma and hardship that life and society threw at them. When I see homeless people, I see suffering people. Suffering in many different ways. Some in active addiction. Some not.
Yep.
But just
Yep.
because someone
Be
has
respectful,
addiction
brothers.
does not mean they're undeserving of a home,
Be respectful, brothers.
food, etc. The suffering these relatives are experiencing is a direct result of the way this corrupt system operates. Systemic oppression, institutionalized racism, and settler colonialism. These systems were put into place
Brooklyn.
to degrade our people. The homelessness of black and brown bodies is what they wanted to do. And now that they got that, it's still a problem for them. Our existence is still a problem for them. That's why they are trying to get rid of these encampments and the communities that our unhoused relatives have created for themselves. Ridding these
Train gets in the way sometimes of the noise.
ridding these people of their homes, regardless of their tents, and their belongings, is an act of suppression and abusive colonization. And it's not helping anything but doing more harm. Today, I stand here with my comrades and on behalf of Native Lives Matter to demand an end to the housing crisis, to demand an end to camp evictions, and to demand funding be put in place to resolve this problem. We need more affordable housing. We need renters' justice. We need more treatment programs and transitional housing programs. We need social workers and therapists working with our unhoused relatives, not cops. We need a new system because the one Columbus and his other colonizers have put into place is not working for brown and black people as it never was supposed to. And as I wrap this up today, I just want to ask Jacob Fry, where exactly do you expect these people to go? If they can't live in public parks, if they can't live under bridges, if they can't live in vacant lots, where can they go? Make it.
Our next speaker is Melanie Groves, a Minneapolis resident and mutual aid worker.
A westbound Green Line train to downtown Minneapolis is arriving on track number 1.
This is family. There's taking care of each other because no one else will take care of us. And I've also seen survive Minnesota weather. And when the police come in with SWAT team support and 100+ officers with AR-15, bulletproof vests like the Russian military, and they come in and they forcibly remove
Sorry about the sound quality, I don't know. Background noise. Had something to do with her mic. And it's windy too.
Overspending, you know, and say, wow, these people have nothing, maybe I can help.
Yeah, it's a little better.
It just doesn't, it's not very Minnesota. To be honest, I always felt it's a good place to be and a good place to live. And now that I'm going, I think I feel that way very often. I could use help and I could use support. And I did mutual aid on the other side. It wasn't because I thought I would be homeless and maybe someone would help me someday. It was because I knew that if somebody was suffering or struggling and I could help, that was going to make my life better. It was going to make the community stronger. It's going to give people hope. It was going to make...
Kind of why I'm out here as well.
And now where are we? We're making laws to make it illegal for people to sleep in public places, disused areas of land that nobody has thought about in forever, where they could have a home temporarily until they find some other permanent housing, a place to be. But we have no place. If I get evicted from this spot next to City Hall, where am I going to go? They're going to keep everything. They're going to keep moving me around, and I'm never going to spend a place.
Got your back on this.
Like I can do something in the world for myself and for other people. And I would just ask all of your city officials and extreme responsibility stand up to the law.
Wow, it's windy.
Our next speaker is A.G. Little, a volunteer community activist and political activist.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
They don't have nowhere to go. I ain't
They
giving
not
anything
hurting nobody.
to support the rest of the homeless people out here. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Our next speaker is DJ, an active community organizer, and also one of the three people arrested last week for convictions for the sole crime of trying to help unhoused people on their home to the beach outside the city.
Yeah, there go 12 again. Just whatever people trying to help.
Yeah, I just want to talk about what I experienced. Because what happened was, the other day they kept evicting people, so we came here and we stopped one of the city council meetings. And then after that, they actually was evicting over on Franklin and Cedar, so we headed over there to go help to make sure people had a way to
Those
get
have
their
dry
stuff
stuff.
out in time, because we know that they burn and destroy stuff if it's not out in time. And so what ended up happening was the officers were telling me I was utilized, and so I started backing up, and on the way back I told them that I thought y'all was supposed to be busy, and I thought y'all was supposed to be understaffed. Don't y'all have some black folks to be killing somebody? And then that's when they told me that I was under arrest. You know, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can
Yeah, arrested him for speaking the truth.
so they I had me on a 36-hour probable cause hold, and they were treating people terrible in the jail cell. People were yelling and screaming how they weren't animals, and the cops were coming by and telling them to yell louder. They're going to be in there a while, as they were laughing. Just stuff that's like cartoonishly evil. And what we need to do is we need to focus on making sure that our neighbors are happy, right? Because the city is doing nothing. They're giving no resources, right? We got to make sure that we have the context of what's going on, right? Like why all these campus started popping up. These campus started popping up because of 2020 COVID happened, right? Everyone went in their houses, right? No one told any of the unhoused people. All they did is they shut down all the restaurants, they shut down all the resources, and no one even told how are they going to figure out. A lot of people don't even have cell phones or electronics. Everyone just goes in their house and people are like, okay, something's going on. We can't get some of the resources we can, so we're going to build our power collectively, and that's how we start getting a lot of these encampments and people coming out and supporting and surviving by the community coming together and supporting our neighbors. That's what's happening. And then all they see is that when they are able to build community,
A northbound
able to make
City
sure
Line train to
that
downtown Minneapolis is arriving on
people
track
came
number
out
1.
people came out their houses. The cops came out their houses and started, well, no. You can't do it right there. You can't do it right there. It's like, okay, you giving us resources? No, like, we just know you can't be right here. What kind of message is that?
Oh, hey, Matt, Gina.
So people have been out here supporting themselves ever since. And these people are out here doing organizing. And what we need to be doing is we don't need to be evicting them. We don't need to be burning down their houses and telling them to move down the street. It takes over $50,000 to do these evictions. When you start counting how many cops that they have here, right? Because at the eviction hours, there's 50 to 75 cops there. But they're supposed to be busy, right? They're supposed to be understaffed, right? But they're spending all their resources out here to evict these people that are doing anything. And what we know is going to happen is that we're going to go down the street and we're going to do it again. So there's a waste of taxpayer dollars. Where's the solution? Telling people to move down the street is not a solution, and it's not one, and it costs the taxpayers $50,000.
Big facts.
What we need them to do is we need them to stop the addiction. We need them to stop the sleep. We need them to actually give people resources. I went to the resource page yesterday. The resources all electronic.
Yeah.
Most people don't have electronics. How are most of the resources electronic? That's absolutely crazy. The day that they did the 3 evictions and they shut down the halfway house, that was the same day that 2 people got killed over north and they couldn't find the killer.
Yep.
Because they were spending all their resources.
I remember that.
That being poor is a crime. That we can't even keep our community safe. Do your job.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Stop the sweep.
Stop the sweep.
Stop the sweeps.
Stop the sweep.
Stop the sweeps.
Stop the sweep.
Stop the sweeps.
With that being said, I want to say that we are asking for them to stop the encampments on evictions. We want our neighbors to be able to live in peace. We don't want to burn their houses. We don't want to take away any of their property, especially with this hard winter coming. That's absolutely disgusting. And with that being said, all power to the people!
All power to the people. Like my shirt say.
Our next speaker is Paul M., a documentary filmmaker who is currently unhoused and recently documented the destruction at 2 of the 3 encampment evictions last week.
Oh, there he is. I seen him.
My name is Paul. I document this spill quite a bit of attitude. I'm standing here a human being. I have a mask on because I don't really want to use myself. I don't really want you to see what I might look like. But
I know what he looks like.
showing support, pushing people around, verbally, making eye
That's big then.
like in prison, you'll go to jail. I'm not an automobile. You don't get the police. You don't get the, you don't get the Mike's right. You don't move me like you're a move a car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are things that it all stems from.
Big facts. He's a human.
Look at me as somebody that's living, breathing, eating, just like you. I might have, in order to understand what good times are, you gotta have some bad times. You gotta have some tough times. These are people that are having some tough times. Come to their knees. You don't come try to, put your foot on their feet. That's all I've been seeing. That's all I've been seeing. I want to be out. I'll let all my friends out. In the middle of it, it's just heartbreaking.
Our next speaker is Samantha Priest Stinson, the president of the Minneapolis Board of Estimate and Taxation.
Oh, I thought I seen you, Samantha.
Everybody for being here today. Like they said, my name is Samantha Priest. I am the president of the Board of Estimate and Taxation, which in our city is responsible for bonding for public infrastructure as well as for setting the maximum tax levy, which we did just set at 6.5%. And what's important to note
Recognize her at
is
first
who's
with
going
the
to bear
different
the brunt of
glasses.
the property tax increase for what we are getting in return. In order of effect, that is wards 4, then 5, followed by ward 1. If you know anything about the demographic of our city, then you know that wards 4 and 5 are predominantly black and brown people. And so when we're saying things publicly as government officials, and I am one of them, so I also am held accountable like everyone else and should be. When we're saying things like we want to bridge the homeownership gap, when we're saying things like that we want to close the class gap for black people and rebuild the middle class, when we're saying that we believe in land back, that requires action, not just words. But I will also say that even in a city budget, there's only so much that we can do. And I find it interesting that we don't call the county, we're right across the street from the county,
We haven't been over to hold the county elected officials accountable. They have a sizable amount of money. One of the things that hasn't been talked about is that many people come here for refuge to Minneapolis because there's access. There's access to transportation. Even though the resources are not great, there is still access to resources that are very difficult to get when you're out in the suburb and some other places. Minneapolis, downtown specifically, is the economic driver for the entire state. So when people are criticizing Minneapolis for our progressivism, for our stance on some of these social issues, and a lot of these economic issues and our public health issues, they fail to understand that when this city isn't vibrant, and it won't be if the people that are the most marginalized and the most affected are not prioritized, that means it's not good for anybody. And we can't continue to build fences as a solution. You see there's a fence there. You see that now they're trying to build a fence at the U.S. Bank Stadium, which, by the way, we're on the hook for paying for until 2054. $17 million in taxes paid out last year. This year, June we started paying back on the stadium, and it's going to increase over the years. There is a very large tax burden that's placed on people in Minneapolis, and Minneapolis is a growing, diverse community.
A westbound Green Line train to downtown Minneapolis is arriving on track number 1.
Strapped with the cost. They're not getting the benefit.
Say that.
So we can't just continue, and I'm not going against what my fellow coalition members behind me are saying. But we can't just continue to call out Mayor Fry and any council member of any area. We have to take the fight to where the money is. We got to learn how to follow the money. Hennepin County has a very large purse, and they are sitting on a lot of money. 2 years ago, when I did a hunger strike with Nadine Little and other women from the women's encampment at Brackett Park, that whole action
that's when I met you.
I wasn't chained to that woman's house for a week without eating for fun. This was simply to get this woman to have a meeting with the unhoused women so that they could hear what it was that they needed. All of that just simply for that. And the county never did end up getting that money, but the state actually ended up getting
Right, you told me.
So there's other partners that have access to a larger amounts of money that we are not getting. This year, the city of Minneapolis isn't even getting the funding from the state that they normally get because of cuts. Those calculations are redone every 10 years, and we're moving into year 10. But there's a lot of funding that people don't know about because it is the responsibility of elected officials to perform civic engagement. That is one of the main reasons that I'm out here other than support. People have to know how the system works and stands. They have to know who's responsible. They have to know what the budget is. They have to know where their voice can be heard. They have to know what committees and other things that they have access to actually be a part of change that actually needs to
Empty. Well, I'll find it.
the way that the system works. So we fail them as elected officials when we're not out here letting them know about the budget and what's the time and how does that system work and how can you get involved. And perhaps these are some places where you might want to engage. Some would call it disrupting, I would call it engaging. Emails and phone calls are left unanswered. So I'm standing here as an elected official to also say that
A few of them were mine.
that you have to be held accountable as well. And we can't continue to just keep putting the burden on the city.
Every city council person, the mayor,
And we have to start holding them
county
accountable.
representatives.
President Green, Commissioner Green of Hennepin County, we need answers. We need to know why you're sitting on this money and not
Yep.
showing up this coalition as a plan. Not just
Yep.
with the community members, but with your other elected officials. You bypass a lot of
Well, this community member left several.
A northbound Green Line train to downtown Minneapolis is arriving on track number 1.
And so that's an important factor. We got to learn how to follow the money. We have to make sure that we're showing up in the right places and hold the right people accountable. It doesn't mean that we're finger pointing. It means that we're asking you to come to the table. The one that we're building together as a community. I also would like to say that there's a lot of really good work that happens out here that people will never know because people that are building coalition outside the government systems are builders. And they are criminals. And there are people out here day and night feeding, trying to bring supplies to appointments. Right?
I made donations. I just said forgot today, but Otherwise, I had some stuff. I'll bring them to what's her name tomorrow. I'll leave the lady over herself. Say that. As it says up there, 59%. That's a renter. Without the rental help, I would have lost mine. Listen to this woman. Big facts. Yeah. Right. One time I was arrested for peeing outside because I couldn't find a bathroom.
And you're not from here, and you don't have a way to charge your phone, and now you're in a dangerous situation. That could be anybody. That could be anybody. It's not specific to my house. They talk about the sharps container. There's no
Or
sharps
gender
container.
or race
For people to
background.
put needles in their find, whether you're the one that used it or the one that found it. Does it matter? Why don't we have public sharps containers? Why don't we have safe use sites? Why don't we have clean needle exchanges? Why don't we have warming shelters throughout the city? There are things that
it does get below zero in Minneapolis.
that would actually benefit everyone.
January and February.
Not the $50,000 bulldozers. Not what we call the $50,000 bargains, where you get just a couple of scraps and grants to the community to do a little bit of work, and really all you end up doing is throwing $50,000 bargains.
Basically.
That joke, which isn't really that funny, goes around. So,
Joke that ain't funny.
This isn't an aggressive call to point a finger, because I also hold a piece of responsibility. That's why
I'll have to go pretty soon.
because we're not getting a benefit, and that money is being extracted from the very community that on the other side of people's mouths, they're saying that that's the community that they're trying to uplift and build. We're also extracting that money from that very community that's suffering as a result. We are paying for the abuse with our tax dollars, and it has got to stop.
Stop the sweeps.
These are our neighbors. These are our students in Minneapolis public schools. These are our elders. These are real human beings.
Big facts.
Their humanity and their dignity should not depend on how much money they make or don't make. So it's time to actually take this call to action and take it to where it goes and tell them that they need to run us the check. Because in the end, they are running us our own money. These are our taxes that is paid for these programs, whether they work or not. It is our money that is funding. And so we have an absolute right to demand better for our money. We have an absolute right to expect better than what we are getting. And we have an absolute right to be treated with dignity and humanity and understand that it's not the issue. We need to answer the right problem. People being unhoused is the problem. The systems that make it so that housing is commodified is the problem. We gotta decommodify housing. Housing was not meant for somebody to
It's a human right.
and to be a slumlord. So we have to look at this as an ecosystem. Public housing hasn't been funded in Minneapolis for 6 years. We got a public housing levy that's been left unfunded. That's part of my priority.
I'm one person who's actually on the waiting list.
That are willing to work with me. And even if you're not, I'm gonna work anyway. The work has got to get done. We have got to get serious. We have got to start having the right conversations. And I've heard a lot of criticism around distraction. This is not a distraction, and this is not performative. This is how we make sure that we get the word out and how we come together in coalition so that we are civically engaging with each other, so that we can exchange information, we can exchange resources, and that we can
next speaker is Toshiro Garraway with Families Supporting Families Against Police Violence.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go after Toshiro speaks. I know Trey.
We out here standing with the homeless community, knowing what law enforcement have done to a lot of families here in Minnesota. As we know, I work with a lot of families that have lost loved ones at the hands of law enforcement. And to stand here with people who have no housing, have nowhere to go, and to watch their homes that they've created for themselves be ransacked and dismantled is really hurtful. It makes me wonder, where are we at as human beings? At the end of the day, this boils down in my mind as white supremacy. White supremacy and white privilege. Because we know that majority of the people that are out here happen to be brown bodies that are out here. They come and they dismantle these people's homes and they don't have any other resources. At least if you're going to dismantle their homes, tell them they have to leave. You should be able to give them a resource of where to go and where to turn and what to do. But you come and you dismantle where they live and then you give them nothing. It is inhumane and it's not right. Our families that have lost loved ones at the hands of law enforcement, our homeless community, all of us are being treated the same. We're being ignored. We're being overlooked. They have a $10 billion surplus. They walked out of the Capitol last year, or this past year, for the legislative session.
Yeah.
Without passing anything that can help the homeless, anything that can help the families that have lost loved ones. You guys have the funding to do this stuff. So why isn't it getting done? Listen to the community. Listen to the cries of the community. Listen to what the people are saying. The people are saying we need help out here. The people are saying that our backs is up against the wall. The people are crying for help out here. We need the people that are sitting in the legislative seats, like Warren Lemmer and Jeremy Miller, to listen to the cries of the people in which you serve. We put you in those positions, Mayor Fry and all of you. The people
I know
put
Jason
you there. Listen to us.
Already knows.
Hear from us. Sit down at the table. We have the solution. We know what needs to change because we live what needs to change. These people are out here sleeping on the ground. That's living what needs to change. We need these people to come to the table. This is not us pointing fingers. This is not us being angry. This is us pleading for your help. For the people that are suffering, and we don't need you to add more suffering to people that are already in pain.
Green Line train to downtown
We need people to be human beings.
number 1.
We need people to understand
We all deserve
that
a home.
human beings, no matter what we look like or our economic status, what we have or don't have, we're still human beings and we deserve to be treated as such.
Say that. Speak the truth, sis.
We're asking that the people that are in the legislative seats take time out and appropriate some money and some funding for the homeless this year. We have a legislative session coming up. We will be in that Capitol. Because unlike the people that go and hurt people that are already hurting, there's people that are already out here that care and that will stand up for these people that are in pain and hurting. And we will not be quiet about the injustice that's being done to these people. It's not right. We have a duty to stand up for
We have a duty to fight for
our freedom. We have a duty to do the
Fight.
right thing as human beings. These are human
Listen.
beings and they don't deserve to be treated like this.
That's right.
With Black Lives Matter Minnesota.
Right there. Like the late great Tupac said. Train coming in 6 minutes. I'll have to get shit to the job.
$1 million in ARP that came down from the federal government that was supposed to be used for communities that were hit hard by COVID-19. Hennepin County has
Minneapolis being one.
one thing that slaves used to do, you might say, but they couldn't count, but we could figure.
The food smells good, but I ain't gonna have enough time to grab it.
If Hennepin County has $245 million of coronavirus,
I'll probably fuck around and have Burger King by the job.
no one should be homeless in Minneapolis. Nobody should be getting evicted from their tent when there's money to be used. But instead, Mayor Frey and the Minneapolis government is going to use that money to use for its budget, for missing budget, instead of using it for what the federal guidelines say it should be used for.
Yeah, I'm not having to grab that.
Communities that have been hit hard by COVID. So we're demanding that the federal funds, the ARP funds, $245 million that Hennepin County has, the $160 million that the city of Minneapolis has, be used for the unhoused community here in Minneapolis and in the state of Minnesota. And we're still demanding reparations. We think that the $10 billion that the state has to be used in the reparations process here in Minnesota. But with all these millions and billions of dollars, no one should be homeless in the state of Minnesota.
Say that.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter. You're not in. Perfect time because I gotta. Oh yeah, because that train comes in 3 minutes. I'll have to catch that over there.
Continue to hold this space. Complete moratorium on encampment evictions. The Public Health Commission, run by Latricia Beepaw, Elliot Payne, has a meeting scheduled for Wednesday, October 12th.
Yeah.
We demand an audience.
I know
We are
both of
also
those
here to
people
collect
pretty
money
good.
and supplies after people's homes and belongings were destroyed during the recent evictions. The most needed supplies are tents, blankets, sleeping bags, warm clothes, portable heaters, and fuel toilets.
So anybody watching this video, if y'all would be kind to donate some, if you can, to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chance.
We have nothing to lose but our chance.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
We have nothing to lose.
That's all I gotta go.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
All power to the. I gotta catch my train. Excuse me, other train. And this has been a presentation of the Streets Advocates. I gotta catch this train to get to work. Keep safe, power to the people.